So, welcome to the after launch party. I wanted to go something special to celebrate the launch of my book Being is a New Doing, but I don't want to don't and the way I wanted to do it was yes, through conversation, because that's the way I love to spend my time with people. And so today I have invited, my guest is Daniel Hirschi, a fellow Swiss who lives in Transylvania, Romania, and who is working on regenerative principle and helping people to go back to themselves. And so, if you have already read the book Being is a New Doing, you will understand exactly why Daniel is here today. And because going back to ourselves and being is really, yes, the center of this book, as the title says it. And so, Daniel, can you introduce yourself? I think it's the best way to start.
Yes, thank you, Valerie, for the invitation, first of all. And I read your book. I was very honored to be one of the first readers to had the occasion to read it. And obviously, it spoke exactly my language. And yes, I'm Daniel. I live for more than 20 years in Transylvania on a little homestead with some animals, and we are more or less self-reliant in many things. And yeah, we are we are here. So we means my family, my wife, my son. We live here, and I'm teaching other people how to get closer to their own DNA. So uh, it's it started actually some years ago on our homestead. We have a very public homestead. We were also on national television, and we are kind of known for what we do. So we have a lot of guests and we have a lot of volunteers also. We work with workaway.org in that matter. And yeah, people came here from all over the world. The furthest away was a couple from Chile. So we at the
Wow.
other end of the world actually, and I observed that a lot of people came here, and they are very distant to nature, very distant in their daily behavior, in their appreciation of nature, also sometimes, and that made me think a little bit, and that helped to become what I am today.
Yeah, well, of course. But I think you had a major tipping point in 2018.
Correct.
And
Yes.
so, what was this tipping point, and what was your decision next, and what did that change in your life? And yeah, go on.
Okay. um, the tipping point, as you said, was the culmination point was a heart attack. So I wake up in August 2018, and felt that something is not good at all. And our biggest luck at that point was there was no ambulance available to come after me. So that was a very, very strange night. In short, our regional hospital, which is also the heart center of Romania, so here is every heart transplantation, every really major surgery on hearts is made here in our regional heart center. That is 30 minutes away from where I live.
Hmm.
And at that night, at that special night, there were unusual many heart attacks. So the night shift in that hospital has to deal every night between 3 to 6 heart attacks. That is normal. That is daily business. Only the night shift I'm talking. Okay.
Yeah.
In that night shift at that day, there was 13. Nobody has an explanation for that. There must be a very strange stellar constellation. I have no idea, and I don't get astrology.
Yeah.
It's not part of my life and thinking, but maybe there is an explanation to find. So there was no ambulance coming after me. They told very clearly, I have no car to send after you. I can't. And that was actually our biggest luck because the guy from 911 uh, asked my wife, do you drive a car? Do you have a car? Yes, of course I have. Bring your husband here. We are waiting for you. And indeed, they were prepared as, yeah, like in a movie. We came, the way which normally takes 30 to 35 minutes, she made in 12 minutes. You can imagine how she drove.
Oh my God.
It
Yeah.
was nighttime, 2 o'clock in night. So, uh, but anyway, she broke every rule, and we arrived there, and 40 minutes later, I was already on operation, surgery, and that was our luck because my main blood vessel in the heart was completely, not just a little bit strangled, it was completely off.
Oh my
So,
God. You
so
could have died.
easily.
Yeah.
My cardiologist told me in that case, usually people have 40 to 45 minutes time to survive. So, because there was no ambulance available, and my wife reached in about 20 minutes in total, we were
Yeah.
there, that saved my life. So, and afterwards obviously if such an event doesn't make you think and overthink your life, then you are just plain stupid. So yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But usually from time to time, people go back to life as usual, and because a lot of people, I think, don't overthink why stuff happens.
Hmm.
So from that, because okay, it's a little dramatic, and I don't want to minimize that. But what really interests me today is how you shift your life, or how you integrate into your life what was not working, what was the main message, and how does this lend you to who you are today.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you can imagine, after that heart attack, I had a lot of time to think. I wasn't able to do much for quite some time. Only a little bit of movement, a little bit of, but the first 2 weeks it take me 15 minutes to reach my bed. So I was very slow. And yeah, I had a lot of time to read and to think. And I, from my profession, I am a professional gardener and permaculture designer. So I was used to think in natural laws, in what could nature, wanted to tell me about that event and so on.
Okay.
That was my kind of thinking immediately. And I reached for some books that I read already, but I had time to reread them. One of them was Holistic Management from Alan Savory. Alan Savory became very famous in 2013 after a TED talk, who
Mm.
reached millions of people. And he's the founder, the thinker of that idea of holistic management. And I started to think about my life and wait a minute. So I'm not aligned with this law. I'm not aligned with this principle. I'm not aligned with, I was heavily overweight at that time,
Okay.
and stressed out with my own company. We had 12 employees at that time, and yeah, it was a lot of stress, and I started to notice and write down. Wait a minute. Only from holistic management point of view, there are several principles I totally violate in daily life, and that cannot be the base or the fundamental for going further in life. So I quite changed. I changed a lot.
And today, how does your your day look like? Because you changed, you applied at the beginning those holistic management principles. Today, more regenerative principles.
Mhm.
So before, no, before I would like to know what are the regenerative principles for you. What does it mean, and how are they embodied in your daily life? So two
So
questions.
after my heart attack, I really started to find the way for me, for my life, because I knew I live in permanent danger, as we know all. Uh, After the first heart attack is usually awaiting the second, and the second is even more damaging. So I was very convinced and very stubborn to change my life as fast as possible, to not give a chance for a second one.
Okay,
So and regenerative means you have to look not only at one part of your life, but you have to have the entire uh, segments of your life visible and under observation, let's say, like that. So I started to write down and to think for me, what are the segments who are make the most sense, who are the most important in my life. And I came up with an acronym for that. It is a Farmish blueprint. Farmish is freedom, authenticity, relationships, money, inspiration, sustainability, and health.
yes.
So the acronym Farmish starts with F for freedom and ends with H for health. And that are the most important parts for my life, which I guess and I know meanwhile that for most people it's kind of that thing. The parts in the middle are not only nice to have, they can influence your life heavily if they are out of balance. And that is what I try to change. Obviously, after the heart attack, the most important part was health.
Of course.
But in time of change and with years and months afterwards, I also was aware that authenticity, relationships, even money, it all plays a role. And if one of that segments is playing a too important role, then you get out of balance, and then it becomes contraproductive. You are putting yourself in danger. If that is for a short time, that is no problem. So
Yeah.
in our business way of thinking, if you are founding a new company, of course you have invest time and probably stress and probably most of your inspiration and everything to make that company work. But that should not be a 5 year plan. That should be a
No,
plan.
or at least you have rest to recover and find your
Exactly.
energy, and so you don't end up
Exactly.
exhausted. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, what are the main change you bring into your business and your, because you said you had a 12 employee at that time,
Yes.
and so how did you apply your Formish principles to your company?
I was very selfish, to be very honest.
No, but
I
of course, we have to be selfish to take care of ourselves.
when we are talking about our health, we have to be
Yeah,
selfish. There is no way around, because the damage is in your body, not in everybody else's. So, uh, to be honest, I got rid of the employees. We
yeah,
we structured down to one employee. We invested the money which was economized. We invested heavily in internet and
yeah.
online marketing, and the company made it through that and worked even better afterwards.
Okay. So, yes, you completely shift your business model,
Yeah,
or yeah, yeah,
yeah,
to ensure that okay, so you reduces the costs and invest what was left in digital marketing, and then at that point, how does your daily life look like? How do you take care of your Formish principle in your daily life?
I'm way much aware how I feel, how my body reacts. So I made a list and started to really read in detail about natural principles, not only from permaculture and holistic management, also the natural laws itself. And the list became a list of more than 50 principles that really plays a role in nature. And because we are part of nature, I thought from the beginning we cannot be that different.
Yeah.
So imagine a compost pile. Okay, in a compost pile we have thousands and thousands of different species of microbes, worms, and all kinds of insects who are playing together the role of composting. That is a process in nature that fascinated me since I was 10 years old.
Okay.
Um, from the heating up, which is only related to the work of the bacteria and microbes, it is totally fascinating. So, and in our homestead, obviously we made tons of compost. I don't exaggerate. We bought this piece of land, which was completely degraded, completely useless. The last 30 years, there was only corn planted on that
Okay.
land, so it was degraded. It was one step uh, before becoming a desert.
So rotation culture.
Exactly. Yeah. The
Yeah,
rotational
yeah,
gardening,
yeah.
we introduced that. We
Okay.
made tons of compost and introduced that slowly, and the the visible aspects they were immediately. So it started to grow. We have today we have more than 350 species on a piece of land where normally people have 3 4 different vegetables. So
Yeah.
we are we overreacted. We have a food forest. We have several different tree species and bushes and everything. And very interestingly, we have also birds and insects which are not available on the neighbors' lands. So they come.
Of course. So because you have
They
new
are attracted.
species.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are attracted
Yeah. Yeah.
from flowers and trees we have, and others don't. So it is a very interesting.
Yeah. So then from that,
From this.
can you explain? I don't know how can you how you able to listen to what you feel?
Mhm,
Did you change or did you apply your routine or allow some space to meditate
mhm,
or whatever, to what is your tips, your own tips to be able to pay attention to what you are feeling because you are part of nature, your body is organic, your feelings too,
mhm.
this triangle, thoughts, emotions, behavior. So, and it's related to our nervous system. Nervous system is part of the body. If you eat sugar, it changes the way your nervous system reacts, and so on.
Exactly.
So, how is your daily life? What is your special routine or tips for you to be able to feel?
So if you expect me to give you a list or exactly explanation of a morning routine, I have to
No,
I don't have one.
I okay, because the truth is I applied morning routine for I can't remember 15 years or something like that, but it was a kind of over performance or overdoing in my health, and today I don't need it anymore. So that I'm not expecting that, but I'm expecting something like, how did you what have you changed in your life to be able to pay attention or to
Okay.
feel? Because probably before, and I make assumptions, so I'm not sure I'm right, but
No, no, no,
probably
no.
before the heart attack, you are an over performance, an achiever, and working, and don't paying attention to your body. And then after that, you wanted to take care of your health. And then how did you realize, or how today are you able to say, I feel like this or like that?
Okay. It all started obviously in the segment of health. And health for me, as I also speak a lot in my publication, Midlife
Yes.
Regeneration, um, in the sector of health, what gives you energy is your food. That is the absolute most important thing ever. If your food is crap, don't expect to be energetic. It can't be. And when we look into nature, um, in nature you will not find a wild animal which is overweight. That is simply impossible because every animal, be it an ant or a lion or a giraffe or an elephant, they eat exactly what their DNA told them to eat. So now big discussions here. We are not vegetarians. As humans, we are not vegetarians. And I am living proof because since I eat much more animal protein, I'm feeling 20 years younger than before. And it started my whole process of healing. And you might know after a heart attack, there are scars
Yeah.
remaining in the heart, in the muscle. And my scars healed like as they would heal in a person of 25 years. So not as a person like almost 60 years as I am.
Yeah.
So there is a huge difference. And the healing process has to be started with something. And that something is named food. And I started to eat completely different. I don't snack anymore. Not not evening at 10 o'clock and not morning at 9. My first meal is around 2 or 3 o'clock afternoon. So I have a very late lunch, to say that. That is, or it is the main meal of the day, or it is a smaller meal, and then at 6 or 7 o'clock latest I eat if I'm still hungry.
Okay.
And around 80% of my meals are animal protein, from eggs to meat of all kind. uh, that is what very very simple. So I got rid of every kind of processed food. The highest processed food I'm still eating is maybe a sausage,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
a
Yeah.
homemade sausage where I know
Wow. Yeah.
exactly what is
Yeah.
included.
Yes.
So we changed a lot our behavior in the kitchen, thanks to my wife, who also adapted to
Of
cook a
course.
little bit
Yeah.
different. We have most of our meals are completely with ingredients only from our garden and from our own animals. So that
Yeah. I want to say that they are the food you eat is pure.
exactly
The more it can be, and um, yeah. So it's really part of, yeah, and the way, because it's because it's beautiful food, and because you don't eat much and overcharge your body, you have more energy and probably space to be
exactly.
able to feel,
If
because
the
you're, yeah,
if the body is not occupied all the time with digestion, then you have the morning brain fog, for example,
yeah,
that I got rid of it almost instantly. That is away. That never came back. And you are becoming much more aware what is happening.
yeah,
If I'm feeling not well today, I'm able to sit down and to do nothing for 2 hours, listening to my body. I can handle boredom.
yeah.
People can't handle boredom anymore.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, because it's okay for you to stay, relax on your sofa 2 hours, enjoy boredom, and or just, being alone with yourself, doing nothing.
Yeah,
So, in this space, what happens in your head at the very beginning? Because I assume that today you are okay with your thoughts and you don't freak out because you are doing nothing for 2 hours. But how do you arrive to this state?
um, with stillness, simply. No phone, no notifications, not even a book to read, just sitting here and being with your own thoughts, whatever that thought will be. Sometimes they end up to be a great idea for an article. Then let it be. Write
Yeah.
it down. or, yes, but sometimes it's nothing, and you are, or you go back in history and you remember past events or
So you
happenings.
have time, you allow yourself time, let's say, to feel complete, whole, and to, let's say, contemplate the moment.
You,
Whatever is in the moment is, maybe sometimes you may be afraid of something or anxious, and sometimes joyful about something else, or looking forward for something, or just being here sitting with maybe nothing.
some people might call that meditation.
Yeah,
I don't call it like that, because meditation is yeah, is a guided process. I don't feel it is guided in my case. It is, I let it go. But
yeah,
Valerie, I'm very, I have to be very clear. I'm very lucky, because I can afford to have that behavior. Okay, that was not always the case in my life. I had also strict schedules, and I had also 18-hour days with work in my life. But today I have completely different priorities, and I stick to them.
yes. And the keyword is you stick to your priorities, because as you said, along all your history and your process and what you've gone through, is that you build your life around what's important for you.
Exactly.
And which means that it's a real engagement into that. And you have found the way to have another way to we earn your life. I hate this word, but to make money, to have some money to live
Mhm.
and to pay your invoices, but you completely rethink it to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your family as well, because obviously if you feel better, they feel better too. And I think that really here, um, it's very inspiring, because you made the choice.
Yes, but as I said before, that was a process. That was not from day one in adulthood. To be very clear, I can afford this now, after a lot of stress, a lot of burnout kind of emotions and situations. I also had in life, at age 25, I had a complete mental breakdown. I was on medication for a short of time. So I know it all. And
Yeah,
after the heart attack, it was absolutely clear for me that is not the point I want to reach again. So
yeah,
it was from the point of from rejection. This
yeah,
is not what I want, and that started the way to think what is actually what I want. So, and that's why these 7 segments made so much sense for me, and I
yeah,
try to optimize in these segments. So, the authenticity, as an example, I am not playing around anymore. I'm not acting for absolutely nobody. I don't care what people think about me. If you want to know me better, come here. I invite you, stay a week, look how my life looks like. You're invited at any point. Don't judge me for whatever, because this is who I am.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm not
understand.
afraid to say that anymore. I tried too long in my life to play roles, to play uh, with the books, and no,
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 I totally get you, because yes, that's the purpose of my book. That's the purpose of my life too. I
exactly,
really
yes,
have the feeling that I'm not here, and I'm a little bit younger, but still I'm 50 today, and I can't play a role. I don't want to. And maybe it's the beauty of the being aged, is that
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't give a
It's
shit about
it's
what people thinks about me,
exactly, it's the beauty of being in the second half of life. I,
Yes.
I would
Uh,
say that it is that kind of transition which makes really joy, which is absolutely playful if you know how to play it. You can also go in a very deep hole in that kind of transition, but I think when you really think about what is important for you, for your life, for your family, your relationships, whatever you call it, important, then you are on a very good way, and that transition into the second part of life
yeah.
uh, is a huge joy.
Yes, of course, but maybe we have to go, through this first part, because it builds ourselves and who we are, and we have, skills, experiences, and we can. It's part of our, I say, foundation, but our roots to be
Hmm.
in more organic
Yeah,
world. And the thing is that without that knowledge or life that shaped us, we won't be able to make the decision to commit to this new life.
yeah,
And it's a choice. And at one point, and you will tell me if you agree or not, we are okay, to be disliked or rejected or whatever. Actually, it doesn't feel like rejection, because we don't care anymore, because we are committed to our true authenticity, our purpose, and life should be like that.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a good mantra. It should be.
It should be like that. And tell me, Sue just said that she loved what you said before about, the rules of the game and the rules of life. So yes, just wanted to say hi to
Yeah.
Sue Raid.
Yes. Hi.
And um, the last slide that I will hold on Friday is with Renee Spears, and she has not the exact same pathway, but um, at once I asked her why did she decided to change her life, and
Hmm.
did she struggle, or how was it hard, and how were the high and the lows? And she said, I committed to it, point, period. So,
Exactly.
and I was, wow. And, I would like my clients to commit to that and just don't look back or listen to, the inner critic and so on.
Hmm.
And because at one point, they are still in between. Of course, as you will discover Friday, she changed her life just before COVID, so almost like you, but you had the foundation with this with your homesteader for over the 20 last years. So um for me too, it was a process. It doesn't happen like that.
No. No.
So and I, sometimes I go back and forward, and
Yeah.
it's life.
That is the funny or interesting part in these transitions or role shifts. Some of these role shifts they come easily and they build up like a burnout, for example, and some come suddenly like a heart attack, and then you have time to reorganize your mind, your body, your I lost a lot of weight because I started to eat completely different.
Yeah,
No snackings, no alcohol, no sugars. So that all helped, and my health, all these little eczemas and these little health problems, they disappeared in month. It was really absolutely, it was amazing that to observe that
yeah,
and to be on that principle, that is a permaculture principle, by the way, observe and interact. So sometimes it's good to make a halt, make a step back, and then
yes,
well, wait a minute, is that really what I am observing? And what exactly am I observing? You know, my wife sometimes has a hard time to observe me because I am totally capable to stand in our garden for half an hour and
yeah.
obviously doing nothing. I listen to the birds. I observe a new species. I see a bug I didn't see yesterday, and I can observe and I really I take that energy into my experience in my life, and she's completely different. She when she has nothing to do, she's going crazy. She
Yeah, but the thing is that we are all different. She's not, her DNA is not the same as yours. She's
no
not
no
wired the same, and as is all the species in your, it's not your garden, it's a farm, but um yeah, all species are different, humans are different. At one point, if we don't know each other, which
Mhm.
means if I don't know who I am and what my body needs, which is slightly different from yours, I cannot find my own rhythm and where I want to go, where I am heading, and what is my true north. So I need this knowledge about myself
Mhm.
to make the right choice.
Yeah.
And uh, it's great to not to compare, but to be aware that your wife doesn't is not the same as you, and
No.
so my husband is, he is not. Actually, we are so different, and it's a beauty as well, the beauty
Yeah.
of life.
Exactly. And I'm convinced by now that people are often they are overwhelming themselves with outside influences which are completely unnecessary, which are nagging on your health and on your behavior sometimes even uh, without a greater sense. One example is for me the trend or the misbehavior, I would call it, to buy your morning Starbucks coffee. I, I honestly I cannot understand that. First of all, what is wrong to take your coffee in silence at your home before you leave your home? And then you have the stress of standing in a queue, waiting for the coffee, getting a coffee which has nothing to do with coffee, huh? The ingredients list is horrible, and then you are wondering why you are completely crazy and out of energy at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And hey, I'm even convinced that people should not live in a city. I know that is for most, it is an unthinkable thought, but a more rural life. I don't say alone on a homestead out of nowhere. You don't need to move to Alaska in the forest or whatever, but at least at some points in your life, go a little bit away, go for solitude, or with your partner if that's, of course, but the constant um, bombarding of influences. It starts with the notifications.
Yeah.
It ends with the last thought about work before you asleep. Uh, it's horrible. Why?
Yeah. Yes. We have been over the yes, since the internet boom, digital age, we build a life that has nothing to do with what our body needs to live. And furthermore, as we constantly on social media, we compare ourselves, we are under the advertising world, and we because human has desire, but with all this overwhelming of information, let which is advertising, marketing, products, and so on, this shiny object effect or
Mhm.
whatever, is it an influencer life or a new product you feel like you need to buy, you're constantly under pressure to make yourself fit to that, which has nothing to do with the real life, because it's all images, picture, and then you have the fear to miss something out. So yes, I don't know if you know that, but I'm a former marketer.
I know.
And yeah,
I googled
and
you.
oh my God. And I am, sometimes I'm ashamed, from this past
No,
life.
no,
Yes, because
nobody should be. No, nobody should be ashamed of the past. No, 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 no.
no, no. So it helped me a lot to be the person I am
See,
today. But the thing is that at one point, the advices I give to companies created today's results in the world. So yeah, but it was part of the game, and I wasn't alone, so it's not my full responsibility. But and then I was a digital marketing consultant, and I was the first one, it's in French part of Switzerland, to say digital detox. Turn off the notification. You don't need it. You don't need
mhm,
all that. You can go outside for a walk for 1 hour or 20 minutes without your cell phone. You don't need it.
correct. Yeah.
You don't need it. What will happen in 20 minutes or 1 hour if you are not connected?
I'm very well aware that not everybody is able to do so. There are jobs you have to be available, you have to be for emergencies, whatever. But not everybody is. And I'm today I'm going so far in that behavior of mine. I have my times per day where I am available for telephones, for example.
Yeah.
And it's every time, it's every day another time frame. It's not, I'm not strict in that. But when I have the feeling today my work is it's a flow, it goes, it's okay, then I'm very, very flexible with my schedule, with my own schedule. When I feel that writing an article or writing something, uh, it's a good flow, it works, then I make 2 hours more. And in that time, my telephone is simply not only on silent, it is completely shut down. I don't get any notifications, nothing. I can see afterwards who tried to reach me. I call back every time. It's and I never missed out anything.
Now, it's exactly the same for me, because I and that's what, at one point in this digital life that I had before, I was teaching people that you can set your own rules and limits, and take back your own power over that.
Mhm.
So if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel overwhelmed by that, take your responsibility and change something. But if it's okay for you, it's okay
I
for me as well. But at one point, you have just to think: is it the way you want to live?
I think it's an overwhelming um, understanding of the world right now that some things are just like they are, and I'm not I'm not okay with that, because if we don't reflect, if we don't question what is normal, then nothing ever will change. And some behaviors uh, stand up, then your morning routine, which was made by a guru who is anything but you, and then you commute to your job, and Starbucks included, and then the day structured until the last Netflix movie. uh, it's not okay. It has nothing in common with your nervous system, with your DNA. It's a completely strange kind of life.
Of course, and all this outer information, external information, and data and pressure makes so much, let's resume it as anxiety on the body,
Yeah.
that
You know,
yes,
I might
it depletes our energy and our life.
exactly. I might be a little bit extreme for some of our audience, of course, because I became quite a radical thinker for my own life, and I try to influence others in a good way, obviously. But for example, chemicals. We think it is completely normal to have a douche gel, a shower gel with 20 plus different chemicals who have absolutely nothing in common with any natural element available. So I got rid of them.
Yeah,
I use natural soap
yeah,
for years, for my hairs, for everything. And you wouldn't believe how my hairs and my skin has improved. My coiffeur, my friseur,
hairdresser. Yeah,
yes, my hairdresser, he thinks I have hair from a 30-year-old.
yeah. Yes, of course, and it's like that. So for you, it happens over, over time, over years, and we would like both, people to have a healthier life, or at least to be happier. I think, to make it short, and the thing that I have noticed, and with my clients as well, and you will tell me later if it's the same for you. At one point, I just give them the principles and help them to, audit their lives and go through the main struggles, let's say. But at one point, I'm not gonna force them to change, because if they don't want, I can't do anything. And the the level of importance of that change is so different from one people to another.
Yes, it is, and you can't force it. You can offer the inputs necessary for starting a thinking process. That is what you can. Um, and because I observed that, I started to offer also a kind of a accountability service. It's very easy, very simple. It's about one email per week,
Yeah,
where you explain yourself what you have done. You answer three questions, super simple. I give my regenerative thoughts afterwards, uh, and that helps already a lot
that's
because
what is on your. Sorry to interrupt. That's what in your. It's in your fee, monthly fee, right? On the monthly
that is included. Yes,
subscription. That's right.
that
Yes.
is the paid newsletter
Yeah.
part, which I honestly not promoted yet. Very uh, forcible. I was so occupied with 101 that the
Yeah.
community had to wait a little bit.
Yes, but it's part of your one-on-one as well.
Yeah, of
Just to
course.
have
Yeah, of
those three
course.
question
Yeah.
supports, and I
It's
saw that you have a signal support, and yeah,
it's part of the program, which is
yeah,
called the return. The
yeah,
return is not in the sense of meaning to go back in some medieval lifestyles at all. It's not
no,
about that,
back to
but to become aware that at some points we left our natural paths probably a little bit too much.
yeah, yeah. So it's a return to your true nature.
Exactly. And right now I'm writing also a book. It's called the DNA cheat code. So so
Oh,
it,
I
it, it
love
will be a lot
that.
about what human nature actually means.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, so you just started the book,
No,
or
it's in work in progress.
okay,
I,
okay.
I
So
didn't start
so
it yesterday, so it's work
okay.
in progress.
Okay, I know it's so long to write a book. Yeah, yeah. So no, I can talk to you for the whole afternoon,
We could,
but
I know.
I know that you have yeah, a busy time those days, and that you need to have time for yourself as well. So, Daniel, tell me, where do our audience and listeners, where can they find you, follow you, and whatever you want to share right now?
They best can follow me with my publication on Substack. That is midlife regeneration. That is the point. We meet each other with
Yeah,
articles twice a week, and you automatically get in my email list. And when I have something to share, I share it via Kit, not only on Substack. I have several programs and little helpers to offer on Gumroad. These are from little cheat sheets, worksheets, to ebooks on the thematics of role shifts and transitions, and how to see life a little bit closer to regeneration. Because yeah, to close the gap from the beginning, I really paid a big price for my neglection of the first 40 years in life. I made many mistakes. I am a very lucky guy to be here still. And I'm very grateful for that. And it is my deepest conviction that I have to give something back because I see, especially people after 40, they are some kind of totally overwhelmed in their whole lives and convinced it has to be like it is. And I can tell you with conviction and proof, no, it has not. You are absolutely able to change your life. If I could, you can also. So please do listen to people like Valerie, people like others, like many others who are a little bit closer to nature, who are who have some proof that nature helped them to overthink and rethink their own lives. And yeah, what is rooted in nature cannot be destructive. It's impossible.
Wow. Thank you, Daniel, for,
It was a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
yes.
And yeah, for
Wish
everybody
you the
hearing
best.
this, I could use your thoughts tomorrow. Exactly 24 hours from now, I will have my eye surgery, which is an obvious damage from my heart attack. So I paid the price, and I do everything I can in my power. Others don't have to pay the same price. So you're invited.
It's such a beautiful end for this live.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being part of this after lunch party. All my wishes, best wishes, and good
Thank you.
vibes for tomorrow's surgery. And take care of yourself and keep going with your work. It's amazing and it's doing good to the world.
Thank you
And
so
we
much.
need you.
It
Thank you
was a
very
great
much.
pleasure, and I really enjoyed your book. Your audience, my audience, should know, buy that book. It is very helpful.
Oh, thanks from the
Okay.
bottom of my
Thank you
heart.
so much.
See you soon. Take
See
care.
you. Bye bye.
Bye,
Thank
Daniel.
you. Bye.